Like many of the decks that we play here, this is a viewer submission from Float Mana there in chat. Float Mana played this archetype in our last Togeland Day Open to a very reasonable finish. So this is kind of it's called Mardu vehicles or cars or whatever you want to call it. There's only one vehicle that's worth playing in this format for the most part, and that's Heart of Kiran here. Artifact aggro could be another thing if you want to be pedantic about what we're calling it. You know, we've got Bomat Courier and 3-Bit Inspector. We've got Toolcraft Exemplar that pays us off from being in artifacts in our aggressive shell. But we basically just got a bunch of things that have like 3+ points of power with decent rates, a little bit of disruptive elements, an Elite Spellbinder and Silencer, some copies of Thoughtseize. We've got Chandra, Torch of Defiance, and Dog Mom here at the top end of the curve. I feel like not playing 4 copies of Elite Spellbinder has got to be wrong. This card's just like, it's so good, chat. It's so good. What's the math on artifacts? This is 12, 15. Can I cut a 3-Bit Inspector and play a 4th Spellbinder? Float Mana, you're in chat. Would you rather I cut a Bonecrusher or a 3-Bit Inspector for a Spellbinder? No, I'm not leaving home without 4 PVs. We could have Silverquill Silencer too, I suppose. I definitely want 4 of this card. This card's fine. Cut both for force, but cut a land? No, stop it. This deck's got 24 lands in it? That sounds like a good number. Nah, I cut a 3-Bit Inspector. Oh, you like Silverquill as the cut. Okay. Fine for me too. Let's pop on into some games here with this one and see how it goes. Just play 61. Stop it, Twitch chat. Cutting lands to play sweet cards, so I end up with an EDH deck with an average curve of 6 and a land count to 25. What's going on, Tron Player? Thanks for the 32 months. Welcome back. Now I have a choice. Do we Toolcraft on one or do we Thoughtseize? And Sulfur Falls? I think I'm into Toolcraft. I think we can wait to Thoughtseize till 3. Or like go this into this into this. Thunk. Come on, cast an Narset. Nice double tapped land start. They're lucky they won the die roll. Double tap land and get them run over on the draw. Show me your secrets. I think it's Gear Hulk. And I think I do this, so I name Wrath of God. Yeah, take the card that kills you as a strong play. I mean, I don't know what you want from Wizards of the Coast, Titan O'Clock. I guess I'm kind of confused by your question, because, like, Historic's already played as part of the MPL and other top level. top level things. It's like, what do you expect out of them in terms of more support? What do you expect them to be doing that they're not? Would be my question to you.
I'm known for my excellent timing.
Here's an incredibly lukewarm take. The competitive aspect of Magic fuels a lot less than a lot of people think it does. And casual players and sales are what drive the game, chat.
I'm getting too old for this.
I agree that good format curation is more important than anything kind of official support you could rustle up. I killed Teferi so he can't tuck my car in. And like, they can't cast Wrath of God because Silverquill Silencer will deal them 3, and then even if they did, Scrapheap would come back. They need a Torrential Gearhulk here. Bonecrusher Giant comes out here. Both of these make their Gearhulks much worse. Lesky, thanks for the follow. Good morning. It's probably a Showdown to the Skalds matchup. You're asking the wrong question, Penguin. When you ask yourself the question, you shouldn't ask yourself the question, is a card too strong for Historic? You should ask yourself the question, does putting a card into Historic add value to the format? Does it make the format more interesting? If I trim 3-bit Inspector, I'm bringing in these as extra artifacts, right? That seems fine. My artifact count staying right about the same. And to answer your question, to answer the correct question, which does Looter Scooter add value to Historic as a format, I think the answer is a resounding no. I think printing a card that every aggro deck suddenly needs to play 4 copies of, basically, is not good value for the format. I think with our 4 pieces of Graveyard Hate we boarded in, I leave them the Gearhulk. I think it's Memory Lapse. Float Mana, are you in chat? Can you talk about Doomskar versus Wrath or Day of Judgment? I'm just playing card for card what a viewer sent me. I don't really have an educated or informed opinion on that. I think we're ready for game 3 on the play. Great draw.
I like a good fight.
As we get rid of their cards, they get to proactively. It's proactively Hulk. And then next turn we can plus her again before they before we cast any spells. Spells? JK. You thought there were gonna be spells, chat?
Good riddance to bad rubbish.
Good riddance to bad rubbish. That's what I say when I ban someone in Twitch chat. Alright, 2 5/6s will do. They ain't need to a graveyard, chat. They got thick boys. Big monsters. Fat caster mages. Thick. In consideration for Rip Apart to kill Gearhulk? Nah. I think I'd rather... That game... We didn't lose that game because of the Gearhulk. We lost that game because we didn't have spells and couldn't put pressure onto the board. You beat the Gearhulk by going wide around it or by killing them before it's relevant. We are the beatdown in this matchup. We are not interested in having a bunch of reactive cards in our deck. I would love Relic of Progenitus for this format. I think that would be a sweet addition. Relic's a lot more powerful than this. Yeah, I think if this resolves, naming Lightning Helix is reasonable. Am I supposed to shock this in and hold up red? Yeah, I think so, Nate. Especially if your decks are gonna be playing, especially if your control decks are playing copies of Torrential Gearhulks, that'll stock goes up even more. Is Relic and Pioneer? It is not. Relic is it's a much older set, right? We're holding up red with Hub. Yeah, but like I have a finite amount with Hub, right? I think I just hold up... I don't really want to discard my hand at the moment, right? Just gonna go ahead and play this out. Dodge a Deafening Clarion. We can dodge a ball. I guess they could Wrath of God me here off the treasure. Conceding with 7 cards in hand. Feels blue-white, man. Ranking on up. Do 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 do. Yeah, the one thing I wish Wizards would be a lot better about is communicating their timelines on things. Like, it's April and we don't know if there's gonna be a summer set for Historic. Like, is there an HA5? Is there SOI remastered coming? Or are we waiting until the D&D set to get more cards? As someone who tries to plan tournaments around set releases, it's very annoying. I mean, you're making a joke, I think, Dex, but that's the reason why they do that. They don't give us timelines, because if they don't give us timelines, no one can complain they're late. Is exactly why. I think I'm killing a Soul Scar here. And I think we named Skewer. Man. Our mana base. You know, it's funny, we were talking about during the last deck the cost of playing 3 colors here, and our mana base really catching up with us, right? Yeah, we're dead to Skewer light up the stage here. Plus the Lumancer, this can't block. Hold down on our curve a bit here. Probably a Scrapheap out matchup, honestly. Oh, it's a Thoughtseize out matchup for sure. Stone. I don't know if this is a Doomskar matchup or not. They have a lot of cards that don't play to the board. They just like burn our face directly. We'll leave 1 Dog Moment at the top end. Cut this because it can't block. I think I like that. Let's try this. There's no 2-card combos on Historic. Mystic's Mastery plus Emergent Ultimatum is a 2-card combo. Kind of. I need specific cards in your deck, but it's just 2 cards. Someone asked if the camera goes up or the whole table. The whole table. I'm standing currently. Sometimes I sit. Nah, 1-3 is just slow and bad. We'll see. The stat line is not very good. There also aren't particular, like, adventures aren't super popular in this format. You can dance if you wanna, and chat, I frequently wanna. How big of a donation for me to dance like that for an hour? I don't make promises I can't keep, so wouldn't be capable of doing that, so I wouldn't agree to it or give you a number. So let that trigger, give it extra power. Through the heart with the dwarf. Well, we're currently black-white vehicles. Next game we might be Mardu. We'll have to wait and see. I'm naming Helix, even though they've already played one. That's their single best card for racing us here. I just want to name a card that makes it harder for them to race us. And remember, that was the easy game, right? That was the game where we were on the play. Where I gotta try and win one on the draw with our painful mana base. They have both Helix and mana that doesn't kill them as they make their land drops, so I would assume they have a pretty big leg up here. Why do I have so many mods? I give people mod swords when they've been subscribed for a year. Figure they've been here long enough. They know how to keep things in line. Just have a lot of friends, yeah, something like that. We need knights to defend the kingdom, chat. We just do this now. Like, are we in a position to race here? Probably not, right? I'm probably just supposed to step on something. We're supposed to play defense. Not chump blocking this. Let's attack for one. Listen, the Sunback knew what they were doing there. They asked, that was a timeout request, chat. You're not new here. You know that was a timeout request. Yeah, I almost waited to get my 2800 Super last year. Because everybody was like, you should wait, the 3000 series are coming out, the prices are gonna go down. Man, am I glad I didn't wait. Select some cards under this, probably double blocking with these Toolcrafts next turn. Okie doke, so we're dead. Maybe I'm supposed to leave. Oh yeah, they have a Raymond Emperors here too, right? Hey, Devo, thanks for the 2 months. Welcome back. Henpai the Senpai. That's a great username. Thanks for the brand new tier 1 sub. Welcome to the channel this morning. I figure at some point someone's gonna play the long con and like sub for a year to get mod to then. I subscribed for the Chad play of requesting that I be timed out. God bless. We aim to please. At some point someone's gonna go for the long con and like sub for 12 months and get modded and then fuck with things, but I figure it'll probably take me less than an hour to unscrew up whatever they screw up with mod status, and then I'll ban them and I'll still have their $60. So like $60 to unscrew up whatever they do is less than an hour. Sounds fine. It's a good ratio. The 1050 Ti is almost $400. Good lord. This is a challenge. You will not get unbanned if you screw up. You screw with stuff when you get modded. That'll be a perma. $59. I got a discount this month. God bless. Man, Klothys is going to be active next turn, most likely. That's pretty scary. I guess we're playing Spellbinder to try and stop them from turning this on next turn. You won't like Klothys when she gets turned on, chat. She's terrifying. I think we just attack with this, and then we save this with this to defense on the backswing here. Yeah, this is a big swing. We're taking, what, 10, 12 here? There really aren't good answers to Klothys in this format. This card's very good. Very, very well positioned in general. The classic play my Spellbreaker as a 3/3 and then decide not to attack. Well, Deck in Stone works if it's a creature, but Klothys frequently isn't a creature. And also, like look at a board state like this. Once Klothys is a creature in a board state like this, you're probably not winning the game anymore, right? Skyclave Apparition's a good one. What if we do this and then attack for 10 here? I can attack for 10. I can stomp something and I can play 3-bit Inspector. I think that's the play. It could also just be... No, the line is definitely attack. Okay, so we attack for 7 and then we kill them in the air next turn, right? Is the plan? Because there's currently no cards in the bin, so Klothys isn't getting a trigger here. And if they don't draw something to keep Klothys on, when she attacks, I get to stomp. I get to stomp the Burning Tree Emissary. So Klothys is no longer a creature. Oh no, they drew Embercleave and they're gonna blow out our stomp. They always draw Embercleave, chat. Wow, sometimes lucky. And I can cast this to crew the heart, right? So we block like this. They always draw the Embercleave, chat. They always draw the Embercleave. Chat, to people talking like my opponent made a mistake, chat, it doesn't matter. All the roads head in this direction. Never not dead to cleave. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why Girl is one of the top 3 decks in the format still. Bomat Courier's pretty bad here. You trim like 1 copy of Scrounger. Someone's asking why Doomskar over Wrath of God earlier. Not only can you hide it from discard spells, but it works nice with Hazoret too, because it gets technically not in your hand. Yeah, Embercleave just like a get out of jail free card. Like it takes lots of close games and makes them not close at all. I clicked on the wrong creature while I was eating my food. I meant to play this on 1. That could easily cost us the game. I apologize. It's a good draw, though. So we'll crew this with Toolcraft this turn. So that way Scrapheap can crew it on defense potentially. think you could build like a black-white aggro deck just fine. It's supposed to stomp the Burning Emissary here, rather than let it trade. That's probably fine. I have something in here. Is that first strike? Oh, it did, didn't it? 3 or more. Good call. This card's got lots of text on it. Bish and Doyce, thanks for the follows. All right, back to red-white. Is the person who suggested playing a third color is free and historic still here, and have you been watching this set? I hope you're still here and you've been watching this set. I think we just take our 2 for 1 here. Hey, I'm glad you're enjoying it, Kraken. Yeah, it's been sweet. Yeah, I have enjoyed it as well. I don't know exactly what I'm playing. I think I'm playing a 5K on Saturday, another historic 5K. Insight Esports is doing those on a lot of the weekends, and
I know.
I'm not sure exactly what I'm gonna play, but it's gonna involve four Apollos.
S'mores, anyone? Gonna hurt.
I think it's just Hazoret plus Heart, right? Yeah, I really hope we get the rest of the fast land sometime soon. That's rude. We're gonna lose Chandra. It's unfortunate. The deck felt like it was missing some punch. Well, decks like that don't really have punch, Peppa Jack. They're like tiny, mopey, small edges value creature decks. If you're looking for a deck that has a punch, I'd recommend playing Gruul. Dead Guy Ale explicitly does not have punch. That's not the reason you play a deck like that. Land or a 1-drop here. Decent pickup. Looking pretty good here. Sweet. And that's like, you know, it's really easy to remember like the first game that we had in that set where like we had a close game and the opponent peeled Embercleave at the perfect opportunity and killed us. But like the Gruul deck doesn't do that every game. The games where it does that stick out in your mind because they feel bad, but that's far from their average case draw. It's an excellent curve here. Well, yeah, well, that's one of the great things about Historic, though, Sightseer. So, like, it'll probably be a long time before we get Allied Fastlands into Pioneer, but Historic, they could just, like, put them in any old miscellaneous thing and add them to the format. I don't know about that. I'm 100% sure, based on my feelings, they have it every time. That's accurate. So we'll take their Helix here, and then we'll Silverquill Silencer, naming Memory Lapse. So do I Scrapheap Toolcraft here? I think I play the Elite Spellbinder to get them to Memory Lapse. It feels like they can't just let this... Oh. Sure. Goodbye, Day of Judgment. I mean, like, they're at 15 already. And then, like, so this turn I attack them for 6, and then I cast Scrapheap Scroungers, shocking in a land. So this way, if they hit, like, a Wrath of God or another sweeper here, I can go ahead and bring Scrapheap back at the end of their turn right after. Spellbinder is a very good craft. You'll get a lot of mileage out of crafting 4 Spellbinders. It's going to be a historic staple for forever. It's going to be a standard staple. A very, very good card. Alright, who's got 2 thumbs and is losing to a 3rd sweeper? This guy right here. Do I board in Soul Guide Lantern without seeing copies of... Now, I think I'd rather play Thalia than Archon Chewy. That deck already has too many 3-drops in it. That's the big problem with the green-white deck. It's just mono 3-drops. Rippers, thanks for the 14 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Yeah, but what am I cutting? So, like, it's fine float mana. But what do you get rid of? Are you just cutting 3-Man Inspector? Last time we Baleful Mastery and cut 3-Man Inspector, right? So I did this. Do we just do that again? This card's not that impactful here, so that seems fine. I'm gonna close this bag of granola before I eat the whole thing in one sitting here. That's why. You see my mute icon keep popping up and on, because I'm stuffing my fat face. Eating directly from open bags is a dangerous thing to do, chat. Don't be a quitter. So, I think we just stick Kaya next turn, right? Make their Gear Hulks worse. I'd honestly be pretty surprised if Historic doesn't pick up in paper. I don't think Wizards was intending to support it in paper initially, but I think with how popular it's likely to be, being the non-originating format on Magic Arena, and just how sweet it is in terms of what the format is, I'd be kind of surprised if people don't want to play it at their LGSs and stuff. Sweet. Spellbinder is lovely because it means I can do a shark check before I attack with my Bomat. Oh, I should probably check for Censor. I should probably shock. Our mortal enemy Field of Ruin. Ooh, we could get caught with our hand in the cookie jar. That's true. Snapping, thanks for the 2 months. Welcome back. They boarded in Grafdigger's Cage against us. Sure. Just get rid of their cast out, huh? Since they have double Wrath of God.
Good riddance to bad rubbish.
I don't know that I feel like when they cast Wrath here, I'd rather just cast Chandra next turn, right? Like, I don't think trading in these three for 4 randoms is worthwhile. It could be anything, even a Chandra. That's true. Should have believed, shit. Should have believed.
Over here. This will be easy.
I'm just gonna get rid of this while I have the option.
Look to see me no more.
Snapping Colorado. Thank you for the 2 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Jack, did I almost miss yours? I think I might have. Thanks for the 14.
I don't need this.
It's a good thing I brought my backup Chandra, chat.
Yup.
Skillfully exiling lands with the Chandra too. They have 8 cards in exile, chat. Survey says...
Feel the pain of
Dead.
every
Right.
outcast thing.
Gaia's a card I kind of wanted to fit into my black-white sideboard. I didn't have room. She's pretty good in this format. The fact that she's like graveyard hate that doubles as a win con is like really sick in the control matchups. The alt animation is simple but nice. Agree. Gaia Ghost Assassin is my #1 planeswalker I'd like to see in Historic. That card would be gas. A 1-drop. I think this is a keep. Yeah, I think Gaia Ghost Assassin is probably... I think Gaia Ghost Assassin is probably one of the best Planeswalker designs in the game. It's really sweet. Garrick this is up there, but I think Gaia Ghost Assassin is a little bit more unique in her design, which makes me like her more. Alright, I think we just stomp the Aspirant here to make them sack the dog. So I put extra power on that. So the main deck black removal spell in Historic. So if you're playing Dreadhorde Arcanist, you want to play Bloodchief's Thirst. If you're not playing Dreadhorde Arcanist, it's a mix of Bloodchief's Thirst, Heartless Act, and the whatever that new one's called that I'm blanking on. Forgetting the name of Baleful Mastery. Is that the one? So we got one of them in the sideboard of this deck. Baleful Mastery. Yeah, look at that. Figured it out. Do we play Standard? We played Winota. The Winota deck was fine. Standard was basically what I expected to be. Standard just doesn't have a lot of variety in it. Like I don't think so. The problem with Standard right now is Standard doesn't feel like it provides a unique play experience, in my opinion. The types of decks that are good in Standard are also good in Historic. And Standard is a more narrow format than Historic, so there's less deck variety that you play against. So until Standard offers a more unique play experience, I don't really think there's a compelling reason to play it. Playing with worse mana bases sucks too. Gaia Ghost Assassin was a supplemental set Planeswalker, that is correct. I'm gonna be honest, Silly Cheese, I have the Standard channel on the subs Discord muted. So I couldn't tell you how busy it is compared to the Historic channel. I mean, that's definitely part of the reason, Huff. The power level of Eldraine is a big part of that. I mean, like, I have a bunch of channels with subs Discord muted. I make a point to, like, go through and, like, take a peek and see what channels are active and stuff. How many muted channels do I have? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. I have, like, half the server muted. There's a lot of things in the topics are just, like, I'm not interested in. Like, I have the whole Runeterra category muted as well. I'm just not playing Runeterra right now. I have, I guess, unmuted. So, like, to give context for people that aren't in the subs Discord server, I have 5, 10, 13, 16. I have over 20. I have almost 25 channels unmuted. There's a lot of stuff going on in there, and that's by design. Like, I have more unmuted than muted. I don't know that we can beat Flying Creature plus Luminarch Aspirant yet. Your Discord has 40 channels. Yeah, it's not just magic stuff. It's got magic. It's got channels for lots of other games. Got channels for generic life stuff. We have a politics channel that's very active. I guess we can try and race this. Hey, Spartan, thanks for 11 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. There should be 40 channels about historical, man. I don't know about that. How do you get in the subs Discord server? Just link your accounts up. Check out this page right here. Man, Deccan's so brutal. Because there wasn't a blue-white school, and all of the double-colored cards we got in the Mystical Archives were from schools, the different schools that we had. It's a reason for holding Toolcraft Exemplar. Well, this says I can only play one card per turn. So casting Toolcraft Exemplar at any point so far this game would have been cheating, and Magic Arena is a really bad application. It doesn't let me cheat. This was paper Magic, chat. We'd have cast Toolcraft Exemplar by now. We'd also forgotten half of our own triggers. Accurate. I just misclicked and died. That's fine, we were dead anyways. Put these Deccan Stones and Baleful Masteries in here. Honestly, this is probably just like an all Doomblades on deck matchup, huh? We just pull up here. Cut these Bomat Couriers. I'm pretty sure we trimmed the Thoughtseize in these creature matchups that play to the board too. The stat line on this is pretty bad. It's kind of mediocre when they're saying we can only play one spell per turn. Do-do. Do-do-do-do. I'm glad you're enjoying it, Chezen. I gotta pick between that or Dead Guy Yell for the tournament I'm playing in on Saturday. Elite Spellbinders and Skyclave Apparitions all the way. Yes, Chrissy should be starting to send out prize codes. Like, Gold Stuffing Person was a little bit later than usual at getting them to me, so apologies in the delay for that, for people that prized the tournament last weekend. Paulo Zemelo, thanks for the follow, good morning. Dead Guy Ale, what's the cost? Dead Guy Ale is in the queue. It is $50 to bump a deck in the queue to be the next deck that we play. If we don't get another bump, what do we have next after this? I don't recall. Sultai Kefnet is the next deck up on deck. This is where the magic happens. Alright. Hey, thanks for the Bezo Bucks, Gala. Sultai Kefnet does look sweet. It's like Sultai Magecraft. We got an endless flow of sweet decks regardless, chat. I promise all of it's great. Is the tournament open on this weekend? The tournament I'm playing on Saturday, yeah, is open entry. I think it's like a $15 entry fee, if I recall. It's the Insight Esports 5K on Saturday. And then our next Hoaglandia tournament will also be open entry, and that'll be on May 8th. I don't play in those ones. Good lord, these sample hands, chat. Just like casual 5 mulligans in a row. Or 5's very good here. Just like mulligan 4 times with 1 landers, concede the match. No lander, all lander. Much is it for me to do the Mr. Beast FNM thing? I'm not gonna do that. Hopefully the servers will be usable while that's going on. I've got a giant backlog of deck list submissions. I'd rather play through those rather than play pre-constructed decks. $25,000, sure, let's go with that number. Is it open entry? We don't need to be subs to enter the tournament? Well, believe it or not, subscribing is also an open entry type thing. So all subscriber tournaments, therefore, are open entry tournaments. Come on, Twitch chat, use your brains. I had some mouth breather on Reddit try and say that. They're like, these aren't open entry tournaments because you have to sub to the channel. It's like, how stupid are you? Come on now, stop looking for something to complain about. It just means if you aren't already subbed, it's a $10 entry fee instead of a $5 entry fee. Not all subscriber tournaments are open entry. You could have other requirements, but that's obviously irrelevant to this case. It wouldn't be a peak Twitch chat comment if you didn't actually me while also bringing up the fact that your actually is completely irrelevant to the topic we're currently discussing. Come on now. Yeah, a lot of people think open entry equals free, which is just not the case. Like, Grand Prix are open entry tournaments, right? Like, Star City games are open entry tournaments. Please, Twitch chat, please, you're killing me. Alright, so opponent played Grixis colored stuff and then died. They discarded Magma Opus, so I assume they're on Gearhulk, so we're going to board in our Graveyard Hate. Bonecrusher Giant's probably not great against control. I don't mind a Baleful Mastery. A Showdown sounds good. Ship it. My tournaments are open to everybody regardless of where you're at in the world. Just keep in mind that the prizes are Cool Stuff Inc. store credit, so you'll want to make sure that Cool Stuff Inc. ships to your country of choice. Your country of residence, otherwise the prizes won't be worthwhile to you. You can also sell the Cool Stuff Inc. store credit. I give you a code and you can sell it to someone else if you wanted. Chewy, thank you for the tip. One of your finest. I don't know what this is. I don't know what that's in reference. So you asked about Dead Gael. That's for Dead Gael to be up next, I assume. A Myobach is a stub. Okay, I didn't know what that word was, and I subscribed to a rule of if I don't know what a word means, I'm not gonna say it on stream. So that's a policy I've been teaching. I've been teaching my children too. If they hear something, whenever Declan repeats something to me, if it's the first time he says it, I'm like, do you know what that means, Declan? And if he says no, I remind him that he shouldn't say things that he doesn't know what they mean. Oh, it's a beer from Rogue Brewing Company. Perfect. Okay, so it's a meme. Got it. And like a lot of the times, the things he repeats are pretty harmless. Like he's turned into a little gamer bro, and he's been calling things OP lately. He was walking around the other day saying GG a bunch, which was funny. But like he also didn't know what it meant, so like I made sure he understood what it meant. Sometimes I worry about the future of my current career choice, but then I realize that like my 7-year-old and my 5-year-old spend most of their screen time watching other people play video games, so like there's some longevity and job security here, I think. Vivid Creek, thanks for the follow. Snortable Cola. What does a Snortable Cola look like? Twitch usernames. Afternoon We Frizz. I'm in danger. Actually, Extinction Event hits Dog Mom, so maybe I'm supposed to take Extinction Event. So ideally, you don't want to play Showdown of the Skalds on turn 4. You want to play it and then be able to play 2 lands off of it if it hits 2 lands. So I'm going to play the Hazoret even though Dog Mom can't attack here. And then we'll play this next turn. Yeah, her animation's really good. It's sweet. By the way, if any of the people watching are folks that got prizes in the last Toglande Open, my lovely wife has posted a message to the Discord saying all prizes have received all winners have received their prizes via Discord DM. So if you don't see a Discord DM from her with your prize, you're one of the 25 people that got prizes. Make sure to ping her. Which, speaking of, that's a great plug for, like, the structure of the Open Series, by the way. If you're a sub, it's a $5 tournament. If you're not a sub, it's a sub plus the $5. And we had 115 people in our last tournament, and 25 of them got prizes for playing. Unlike a lot of tournament series where there's a static amount of prizes, we pay out prizes based on your final match record, which means that the more people that play, the more prizes we pay out. Everybody that gets at least 4 match wins gets prizes. So we get to Baleful Mastery here without them drawing an extra card, which is great. What about prizes for participation? We do give out Sweetest Deck Awards to 2 people. And we give out some random door prizes to people that get 3 match wins. But there aren't any just full random prizes. All the prizes you have to win some amount of matches. Usually we pick 2 people at random that win 3 and 2. They get prizes, and then there's 2 Sweet Duck Awards. Oh my cast. So Jim Davis will be coming back to cast with me for this next one. Looking forward to working with him again. The next Hoot date will be May 8th. We're waiting to hear back from the MTG Melee people about something in terms of how we set payment up. But signups will be open soon. So they can, like, Fatal Push this Heart of Kiran, but, like, that was going to happen at some point regardless. All of 100% of the entry fees go to Cool Stuff Inc. The only thing related to entry fees that go towards supporting me are your subscription to play in the tournament. So there's a $5 entry fee, $1 goes to MTG Melee, $4 goes to Cool Stuff Inc. None of that money touches my pocket ever.
Pack your bags and hit the road.
We originally ran them with no entry fee and just having to have people subscribed. But the problem with that is, you know, to have sick brags for a minute. There's currently 2,424 subscribers on this channel. So when you just had to be subscribed and there was no entry fee, people would sign up, you know, a month in advance. And then, like, we'd have half the tournament drop, like, the couple of days beforehand. Because if you were subbed and there was no entry fee, you might as well sign up in case you might play. So with the entry fee, we're able to increase the prize support, and it makes it so people don't sign up unless they're more likely to play. And adding even a nominal entry fee increases the amount of commitment people feel to play something.
I'm sorry, was that dear to you?
That's true too. Yeah, Cool Stuff Inc. pays the salary of my co-commentator, which is great. Yeah. So like Cool Stuff Inc. and CGB are both Cool Stuff Inc. sponsored players, so they pay for that too.
You call that an attack?
Yes. Yeah. Skalds working with Hazoret is great. Are they dead? I get to bring back. Wait, I actually can't bring back Scrapheap, huh? Not yet. We did Hazoret though. Kevin, thanks for the follow. And if you haven't seen the previous Hooglandia tournaments we put on, we just did one last weekend that was this current historic format. If you want to see, our production value tends to be quite reasonable. You can check out the past coverage and deck list up on my website there. jeffhoogland.com/Hooglandia-open series. Have a good one, Mean Bean. Yeah, Corey was great. All the other co-commentators I've worked with have been very reasonable. There's a lot of really talented people in the Magic community. Yeah, part of the reason why we're waiting to hear back from Melee is Melee was supposed to be adding direct PayPal support to their payment setup. So hopefully that's done. Right now they use Stripe, and Stripe really sucks compared to PayPal. When you get a Discord channel for beer, the Bomat experience is an indirect channel for beer. I mean, all infinite turn decks are like pretty tedious to play against, but the new blue-green turn deck isn't super popular. So, I think it's fine. Rude. I like my Chandra.
We're done here.
That being said, we get to attack into this profitably, so it's pretty good for us. I get to go ahead and do this, and I get to accrue the Heart of Kiran here. We get to attack for 6. Then we're going to start cashing in these Bomat Couriers to draw cards. You know, what if I let this feels like I should just let this trade happen because it feels like they're going to try and take this one with 4 cards under it. So I just like let this trade happen and then I'll crack this one and draw 4 on their turn. Yeah, Panza top 8 of the last one, which was sweet. New Guardian, thanks for the follow. All right, so I know Bomat Courier was good there, but Bomat Courier in general sucks against these creature decks. Against decks that play to the board, you want to cut Thoughtseize and Bomat Courier, and we get to bring in these Doomskars and all these pieces of spot removal here, basically. We get to take our deck and pull up a little bit. Also, I want to trim here. I need 3 more cuts. Does this qualify as mid-range? Yeah, I would classify the deck we're playing as an aggressively slanted mid-range deck. So Chandra generates card advantage, which is nice when we're trying to go long with Doomskar. Scrapheap Scrounger is nice at crewing Heart of Kiran. It could just be Toolcraft Exemplar. It doesn't really attack into too much of their stuff. Doomskar can be hidden from discard spells, and Doomskar plays nicely with Hazoret, because you can foretell this to have it in your hand, but not count for Hazoret. You got Toolcraft for the creature matchups? Yeah, I think I like that. Just like board these out and just these go a little bit bigger here. We're basically like pivoting into a more controlling role post board. This deck has a pseudo transformational sideboard. It's fine. Yeah, it's a great way to summarize Chandra Hidden Flame. Kills the opponent's stuff, kills the opponent, draws cards, just like checks every box you want to check. Alright, do I just like name Collected Company with Silverquill Silencer? We don't name anything because Archon of Emeria punches us in the face. Got it. Nice magic card. Was there a specific deck that made transformational sideboards popular? No, not really. From a theory perspective, they've existed for a long time. Wait, did I shock myself last turn because I wasn't paying attention? I totally did, right? I paid 2, and then it came into play tapped anyways. I guess we're decking that. The problem is this Lumen Arc's gonna hang out and get scary. Man, could you imagine if I would have gotten to play this Silverquill Silencer on 2? I think we're dead at this point, right? Need to like Doomskar this turn so I can cast it next turn. Sounds good. Yeah, well, unlike, so I think the opponent's archetype is very reasonable in the format. My only problem with it is, with only having Land War Elves as an accelerator in their format, their deck has a lot of 2-10 syndrome, as I like to refer to it as. Like, when it's good, it's great, and when it's bad, it's awful. The games where you don't have Land War Elves, your deck is pretty slow and embarrassing, is the fundamental problem the archetype has. Yeah, Pon's also like that. When Elvish Mystic eventually gets added to this format and we have 8 1-mana accelerants, it's going to be a big deal. I think I'm going to do this, and I'm going to play defense. I think with the Doomskar, I want to just keep my life total high. Rough. Punished. How do we feel about Scrapheap to mask the fact that we have a sweeper? Because I feel like if I foretell this, it's going to scream, I have a sweeper from high heaven. The problem with that is if they go Redain. I think I have to do this because of Redain. And for foretelling this means I can, like, cast it plus play a 2-mana card. Tipster, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. Nailed it. Yeah, Thalia gets us too is a good call. Yeah, Tireless Tracker will be a good pickup for the green-white deck too. Less important than less important than Elvish Mystic, but still good. What's the Great Henge called? The Great Henge. Think I'm supposed to shock and play this? The Flyer's real scary here, though. Yeah, we're dead. I'm not dead yet. I like the Spellbinder mid-range decks, Tantrum. Have been my favorites. How was Standard? It was fine. It was like what I expected it to be. I wouldn't say it was bad. It's just kind of bland. Just not as interesting as Historic is. We're dead to the Desert. No, the Desert is sorcery speed. So we just block whichever one they desert. Or people that didn't play Standard when this card was legal. So we're dead to a removal spell. They're dead to that. Crunch. Jiminy, thank you for the 17 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Sweet. Sometimes lucky indeed. Yeah, really close set. This deck felt pretty reasonable. I feel like my one takeaway or thoughts are, I wonder if this deck can get away with not playing Thraben Inspector. Are there any other like incidental artifacts we can play to make Toolcraft Exemplar slightly more consistent to not play Thraben Inspector? In like a world without Smuggler's Copter, this card just like continues to be underwhelming and mediocre. Thanks, Luna Lovelight. I appreciate that. Yeah, all the cards people are naming are kind of mediocre. I guess you could main deck Lantern. Like, main deck Lantern's not terrible. I really don't like Stonecoil Serpent. We can play, what if, like, we have, this is 12? Like, do we need, like, 13, 14? What do we think the number is for Toolcraft Exemplar? Yeah, like, Maze Mind's, like, fine. Yeah, like, most of these cards are just, like, they're okay, but they're not particularly exciting. Does it have to be a 1 or a 2 mana spell? Like, obviously it's a little bit worse. I wonder, what if we played like a Maul or two? What if we did like this and like rounded out the playset of Bonecrusher Giants? Thraben Inspector is just like really poop in all the games that we played. We have 24 creatures and this creature comes back. Maul's just like a good card that's like also an artifact. I honestly don't hate the Dwarf Lord suggestion. That could be okay. I think I'd probably try Maul. I feel like that's my, I don't think this is an Embercleave deck. We don't have that many creatures. Like, I want to be able to play it by turn 3 at the latest in order to trigger my Toolcraft Exemplar early, but like Maul of the Skyclaves on this is like a 5-power flying attacker, right? Like that's a big boy. Bone Splitter's not a constructed playable card, chat. Like I'm looking for cards. If I wanted to play a bad card, I would just keep playing Thraben Inspector. But Thraben Inspector has just felt super lackluster and unimpressive. So I'm looking to replace it with another card that's incidentally an artifact and also a good card. I think Maul probably checks those boxes. Like this card's good with like all of these cards in general, right? Like all of these things hit like really hard on curve with Maul the Skyclaves. So yeah, Float. I think this deck's super reasonable. We played this archetype last season and it felt pretty reasonable. We didn't get any strict busted upgrades. I guess you could kind of call this a busted upgrade. Elite Spellbinder is like really impressive in the games that I've played it. See, I think Hazoret felt good. Honestly, I kind of want to try this card in the red-white mid-range deck we played the other day, but this list feels pretty trim. It's got reasonable disruption. It's got some decent interaction. It hits decently hard and closes games. It generates card advantage with Bomat Courier and Chandra. I love the kind of Doomskar bunch of removal turn into like a 1-for-1 mid-range deck post-board plan. So, yeah. I like it. If you like the idea of what this deck is doing, I think it feels like a very reasonable power level in the format. So definitely one worth poking at if you like what this deck is doing. All right, we had a donation